Imagine waking up every morning to find that while you were sleeping, your bank account grew by $25,000 a month. This isn't a trick, and it's not luck. It's business models that work for you 24/7, even when you're nowhere near a computer. In this video, I'll reveal 4 proven businesses that, following Warren Buffett's principles, can turn into real passive income machines. Want to know what they are and how to get started? Stay tuned, because what you're about to discover could change the way you see money forever. Exactly 3 years ago, my friend Oliver was working 12 hours a day in an office, barely earning enough to get by. Today, Oliver earns over $23,860 a month while he sleeps, travels, or simply enjoys time with his family. How did he achieve this? By applying exactly the 4 businesses I'm going to reveal in this video. But before we continue, if you're interested in this type of content, like this video and share it with that person you know needs to hear this. Trust me, you'll thank me later, because what you're about to learn is not taught in schools or universities. Warren Buffett, the 3rd richest man in the world with a fortune of over $100 billion, has a very clear philosophy. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work your whole life until you die. These words aren't just a nice quote. They're the key that separates the rich from the poor, the free from the slaves of the system. The reality is that 95% of people live in what I call the time for money trap. You work an hour, you earn a fixed amount. You don't work, you earn nothing. It's a mathematical equation that keeps you trapped forever. But there is another equation, the millionaire equation. Money working to generate more money without your physical presence. Here's the part that will surprise you. The 4 businesses I'm going to reveal don't require you to be a finance genius. You don't need a college degree in economics, and you definitely don't need to be born into a wealthy family. All you need is to change your mindset and be willing to act differently than 95% of the population. The first business can be started by anyone with just $1,000. The second requires a bit more initial capital, but generates dividends that literally work like an automatic monthly paycheck. The third business is probably the most powerful of the digital age, and ordinary people are generating fortunes while they sleep. The fourth business is the secret favorite of the world's smartest investors. But there's something even more important I want you to understand before continuing. The last business I'm going to reveal, the one I saved for the end of this video, is the most powerful of all. It's the one Warren Buffett considers his secret weapon, and it's exactly what has allowed him to keep his wealth growing exponentially for over 60 years. So stay until the end, because every minute of this video is designed to change your financial life forever. This is not theory. This is not empty motivation. These are real strategies with real numbers that real people are using right now to build their financial freedom. Warren Buffett investing at the age of 11. Do you know what his first investment was? He bought shares for $8 each. He lost money at first. But that experience taught him the most valuable lesson of his life. Patience and the power of compound interest are the most powerful forces in the financial universe. But here's the secret no one tells you. Buffett didn't get rich by working more hours than everyone else. He got rich by completely changing his relationship with money. While most people see money as something to spend, Buffett sees it as something that works for him 24/7. Let me explain this with an example that will change your perspective forever. Imagine you have 2 options. The first is to receive $1 million in cash today. The second is to receive 1 penny today, but that penny doubles every day for 30 days. Which would you choose? Most people, even educated ones, choose the $1 million. But if you had chosen the penny that doubles, after 30 days, you would have more than $10 million. This is called exponential growth, and it's exactly how millionaires think. The problem is that our brains are programmed to think linearly. 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, 4. But rich people's money doesn't work like that. Rich people's money works exponentially. 1 generates 2, 2 generates 4, 4 generates 8, and so on. Warren Buffett calls this the eighth wonder of the world. Einstein supposedly said that compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe. And here's the part that will surprise you. You don't need to be a genius to take advantage of it. You just need to understand how the four types of businesses that generate money automatically work. But before revealing these businesses, you need to understand why 95% of people never manage to create passive income. The number one reason is the instant gratification mindset. We want results today. We want money now. We want everything immediately. But passive income requires what Buffett calls deferred gratification. The second reason is fear. Fear of losing money. Fear of investing. Fear of doing something different. But here's the truth no one tells you. It's riskier to do nothing than to take action. Inflation is devouring your money every day it sits idle in your savings account. The third reason is a lack of financial education. Schools teach us to be good employees, but they never teach us to be investors. They teach us to work for money, but never to make money work for us. Now that you understand the right mindset, you're ready to learn about the first business that can change your financial life forever, even if you only have $1,000 to start. Let me tell you the story of Maria, an elementary school teacher in Memphis earning $2,000 a month. Mary always thought real estate was only for wealthy people, until she discovered what I'm about to teach you. Today, 3 years later, Mary generates $300 a month in passive income without owning any physical property. How is this possible? The answer is REITs, but not just any REITs. Let me explain simply because this will change your life. A REIT is like owning a small part of hundreds of properties without having to buy, manage, or maintain any of them. It's like having an army of tenants paying you rent every month, but without the 3 a.m. calls because the toilet is clogged. Here's the trick. The smartest investors they don't buy just any REIT. They buy what are called monthly dividend REITs. These REITs pay dividends every month, not quarterly like regular stocks. It's like receiving your real estate paycheck automatically every month. Let me give you real numbers you can verify right now. The REIT called Realty Income Corporation has paid monthly dividends for more than 50 consecutive years. Over the past 10 years, it has generated an average of 10% per year. This means if you invest $1,000 today, in 1 year, you would have $1,100. But here comes the magic of compound interest. If you reinvest that $100 profit, in the second year, you don't earn just $100. You earn $110. By the third year, it's $121. After 10 years, your initial $1,000 grows to $2,594 without adding a single extra dollar. And that's just the beginning. The second strategy is real estate crowdfunding. Platforms like Fundrise or Realty Mogul allow you to invest in commercial real estate projects with as little as $500. We're talking shopping centers, offices, luxury apartments, projects that usually require millions to enter. Here's the number that will surprise you. The average return from real estate crowdfunding in the U.S. over the last 5 years has been 12.5% per year. This means $1,000 becomes $3,244 in 10 years automatically. The third strategy is my personal favorite, digital house hacking. You buy a small property, live in part of it, and rent out the rest. But here's the modern trick. You use platforms like Airbnb to generate 3 times the income compared to traditional rentals. Michael, a 25-year-old from Monterey, bought a 2-bedroom apartment with a $5,000 down payment. He lives in 1 bedroom and rents out the other on Airbnb. His monthly Airbnb income is $1,200, while his mortgage payment is $800. Result, $400 per month in positive cash flow, plus property appreciation. The secret is strategic location and optimizing the guest experience. Michael learned basic photography, decorated in a minimalist style, and offers extra services like breakfast and local tours. His average occupancy rate is 85%. These are just the first steps of the first business, but wait until you hear about the second one. This is where things get really interesting. Imagine receiving a check every month without working, without selling anything, without doing a single thing. Sounds too good to be true, right? Let me tell you the story of Robert, an accountant from Mexico City who discovered the power of dividend aristocrats and now makes more money while sleeping than many people earn working full-time. Robert started with $3,000 8 years ago. Today, he receives $6,200 per month in pure dividends. But the most impressive part is this: his shares are now worth 4 times his original investment. Essentially, Robert is getting free money from shares that have multiplied in value. How does this work exactly? It's simpler than you think. When you buy shares in a company that pays dividends, you become a partial owner of that company. As an owner, you are entitled to a portion of its profits. It's like being a business partner without having to manage it. But not all dividend stocks are equal. There is an elite group called dividend aristocrats. These are companies that have increased their dividends for 25 consecutive years or more. They are so solid that even during economic crises, recessions, and pandemics, they continue to pay and raise dividends. Here are 3 real examples you can research right now. Coca-Cola has increased its dividends for 59 consecutive years, Johnson & Johnson for 58 years, and Procter & Gamble for 65 years. These companies have survived wars, economic crises, technological changes, and are still money-generating machines. Here's the exact strategy Robert uses, and you can copy it step by step. Identify 10 dividend aristocrat companies across different sectors. Buy the same dollar amount of each company to diversify risk. Crucially, automatically reinvest all dividends to buy more shares. The magic happens with automatic reinvestment. When you receive dividends, instead of spending that money, you use it to buy more shares of the same company. These new shares also generate dividends, which in turn buy more shares that generate more dividends. It's an unstoppable snowball of exponential growth. Let me give you concrete numbers that will blow your mind. If you invest $5,000 in a portfolio of dividend aristocrats with an average 8% annual return and reinvest all dividends, after 20 years you would have over $23,000. But here's the incredible part. Those $23,000 would be generating more than $1,800 per year in pure dividends. There's an even more powerful strategy Robert discovered after 2 years: the dividend capture strategy. Basically, you buy shares just before the dividend payment date and sell them afterward. If done correctly, with perfect timing, you can generate additional monthly gains of 2 to 5%. The key is to identify companies with staggered dividend dates throughout the year. While one company pays in January, another pays in February, another in March, and so on. This allows you to receive dividends every month from different companies. The biggest mistake people make is impatience. Dividends are a long-term game. In the first months, you'll receive small amounts, but exponential growth happens after year 3. That's when patience turns into real wealth. But wait, because the third business is probably the most exciting of all, especially in this digital era where a single person can create an empire from home. This is the story that will change your perspective on money forever. Meet Ana, a nurse from Puebla who worked 12-hour shifts earning $1,200 per month. Anne had a problem, chronic insomnia, and had tried all kinds of treatments without success. Finally, after years of personal research, she developed a 5-step routine that changed her life. Anne decided to create a digital course teaching her method for better sleep. She recorded it on her cell phone in her living room, created some basic PowerPoint presentations, and uploaded it to an online course platform. In the first month, she sold 3 courses. The second month, 15. The 6th month, 237 courses. Today, 2 years later, Anne generates $400 per month selling her course while literally sleeping. What's the magic behind digital products? Simple. You create them once and sell them infinitely. No inventory, no shipping, no additional production costs. Once the product is created, each sale is pure profit, minus platform fees. But here's the secret that separates those who earn hundreds from those who earn thousands. Full automation of the sales system. Anne doesn't sell her course manually. She has an automated sales funnel working 24/7. Here's how it works. First, she offers a free guide on the 5 mistakes that keep you awake at night. Second, she captures the email of the interested person. Third, she sends an educational email sequence for 1 week. Fourth, at the end of the sequence, she offers her full course. The average conversion for these funnels is 2 to 5%. This means that out of every 100 people who download the free guide, 2 to 5 buy the full course. If your course costs $100 and you get 1,000 visitors per month, you would be generating between $2,000 and $5,000 per month on autopilot. But courses are just the beginning. There's a whole world of digital products you can create. Ebooks, templates, software, mobile apps, memberships, group coaching, pre-recorded webinars, audiobooks, and much more. The key is identifying a specific problem that you already know how to solve. Let me give you the exact formula for creating a successful digital product. Rule 1. Solve a real problem you've personally faced. Rule 2. Make your solution specific, not general. Instead of how to be successful, create how to get your first client in 30 days using LinkedIn. Rule 3. Validate your idea before creating the full product. Sell the course before recording it. Here's the validation strategy experts use. Create a simple sales page describing your course. Offer a pre-sale price with a 50% discount. If you sell at least 10 courses in pre-sale, you have a winning product. If you don't sell even one, it's better to change ideas before wasting time creating something no one wants. The most recommended platform for beginners is Hotmart, followed by Udemy and Teachable. Hotmart is especially powerful because it has an army of affiliates who can promote your course in exchange for a commission. Imagine having 1,000 people selling your product while you sleep. The biggest mistake beginners make is creating 10-hour courses. The best-selling courses are 1 to 3 hours long. People prefer quick, specific solutions over long, complicated transformations. Less is more in the digital world. But wait until you hear about the 4th business, where peer-to-peer lending comes into play and profits can be even more predictable. Let me tell you about Gordon, a software engineer from Tijuana who discovered a way to make money he didn't even know existed. Gordon took $10,000 of his savings and turned it into a money-making machine that pays him $1,200 per month completely passively. He doesn't sell anything, manage inventory, or have employees. He simply lends money to other people and collects interest like a bank would. How is this possible? It's called peer-to-peer lending. It's like being your own bank, but without all the bureaucracy and complicated regulations. Platforms like Lending Club, Prosper, Mintos, and Bondora connect people who need loans with people who have money to lend. You earn the interest, they get the loan they need. Here's the interesting part. Average returns from peer-to-peer lending range from 8 to 15% per year, depending on the level of risk you're willing to take. This means that if you lend $1,000 at a 12% annual rate, by the end of the year you'll have earned $120, plus your initial capital back. The difference from other businesses is that here, you decide exactly how much risk you want to take. Platforms rate each borrower with a risk score from A+ to F. A+ loans pay lower rates but are very safe. F loans pay very high rates but have a higher chance of default. Here's the exact strategy Gordon uses, which has worked for 3 consecutive years. Diversify your money among at least 100 different loans. Never put more than 1% of your total capital into a single loan. Mix loans of different risk grades, 60% in grades A and B, 30% in grades C and D, 10% in grades E and F. This diversification is crucial because some loans will inevitably default. But if you have 100 loans and 5 don't pay, the other 95 cover the losses and continue generating profit. It's pure math. The interest you collect outweighs the losses from defaults. Let me give you Gordon's real numbers. In 3 years, he has lent a total of $32,000 across 320 different loans. His default rate has been 4.2%. His average net return has been 11.7% per year. This means his initial $10,000 now generates $1,170 annually, or almost $100 per month in passive income. But here comes the most powerful part: automatic reinvestment. Every time someone pays back their loan, that money is automatically reinvested in new loans. It's like compound interest, but on steroids. Your capital grows and grows, generating more and more monthly income. The best platforms to start are Mintos for international investors and Street for more sophisticated investors. Mintos has the advantage of offering a buyback guarantee. If a loan is late by more than 60 days, the platform automatically buys back your investment. The most common mistake is putting all your money into high-risk loans out of greed. The key is patience and diversification. 12% annual returns compounded over 10 years turn $10,000 into over $31,000. But before you start with any of these businesses, you need to understand the fatal mistakes that keep 95% of people poor, even when they have access to all this information. 2 years ago, at an investment conference in Guadalajara, I met two people who left a lasting impression on me. The first was Oliver, a 45-year-old doctor earning $8,000 per month but living paycheck to paycheck. The second was Luis, a 32-year-old teacher earning $2,000 per month but had accumulated over $50,000 in investments. What was the difference? Their mindset toward money was completely opposite. Oliver had an employee mindset. For him, money was something earned by working more hours and spent on things that showed his social status. Luis had an investor mindset. For him, every peso was a soldier that had to work to generate more pesos. This difference in mindset is the reason why some people get rich while others remain poor their entire lives. The first mistake that keeps people poor is the instant gratification mindset. We want everything now. The new car, expensive vacations, designer clothes, the latest phone. But here's the painful truth. Every peso you spend on unnecessary luxuries is a peso that isn't working for your financial freedom. Warren Buffett drives a 2014 Toyota Camry and lives in the same house he bought in 1958. Do you think he can't afford something better? The second mistake is the lack of real financial education. Schools teach us how to calculate the area of a triangle, but never explain how compound interest works. They teach us ancient history, but never teach us how to invest in the stock market. This financial ignorance isn't accidental. It's systemic. The system needs employees, not investors. The third mistake is paralyzing fear. What if I lose my money? What if the investment fails? What if it doesn't work? But here's the question you should ask yourself. What if it does work? Fear of losing money keeps people losing money to inflation every single day. Your money in the bank is constantly losing purchasing power. The fourth mistake is lack of patience. People want to get rich in 6 months, but real wealth is built over years and decades. Jeff Bezos took more than 20 years to become the richest man in the world. Warren Buffett earned 99% of his fortune after turning 50. Wealth is a marathon, not a 100-meter sprint. The fifth mistake is not automating investments. People who get rich don't rely on willpower to invest. They have automatic systems that set money aside for investing before they can spend it. They pay their future selves first, then cover expenses. The sixth mistake is comparing yourself to others instead of focusing on your own progress. Social media is full of people showing lifestyles they're probably financing with debt. While you compare yourself to them, they're sinking financially. True wealth is quiet and discreet. The seventh mistake is looking for shortcuts or schemes to get rich quickly. There are no magic formulas, no hidden secrets, no systems that will make you a millionaire in 30 days. Real wealth is built on basic principles applied consistently over years. But the biggest mistake of all is inaction. Knowing about these 4 businesses and doing nothing with that information. The difference between the rich and the poor isn't the information they have. It's the action they take with that information. Now that you know the most common mistakes, you're ready for the secret strategy Warren Buffett has used for over 60 years and never reveals publicly. Here's the secret Warren Buffett has kept for more than 6 decades, only sharing it with his closest investors. It's not a specific business. It's a philosophy that turns any investment into a wealth-generating machine. It's called the 20% compound rule, and it's the reason Buffett has maintained an average annual growth of 20% for 60 consecutive years. Here's how the strategy works. Instead of diversifying your money into hundreds of different investments, Buffett concentrates 80% of his wealth in his top 5 investments, but not just any investment. Only investments that meet 3 unbreakable criteria: businesses he fully understands, companies with durable competitive advantages, honest and competent management. Buffett calls this betting big when the odds are in your favor. It's like playing poker. You don't play every hand, but when you have a winning hand, you bet big. Most people do exactly the opposite. They bet small when the odds are in their favor and bet big when the odds are against them. Now, applying this philosophy to the 4 businesses you just learned, here's your step-by-step action plan to generate $23,860 per month over the next 3 years. Step 1. Allocate 40% of your investment capital to REITs and real estate. Start with $1,000 in monthly dividend REITs and automate reinvestment. Add $200 more each month. In 3 years, you'll have over $10,000 generating $3,000 per month in dividends. Step 2. Invest 30% in dividend aristocrats. Choose 5 companies from different sectors: a consumer company like Coca-Cola, a healthcare company like Johnson & Johnson, a tech company like Microsoft, a financial company like J.P. Morgan Chase, and an industrial company like 3M. Invest the same amount in each and automatically reinvest all dividends. Step 3. Dedicate 20% to creating your first digital product. You don't need to be an expert. Just solve a problem you faced yourself. It could be as simple as how I organized my personal finances in 30 days, or the method I used to wake up at 5 a.m. Remember, people pay for specific solutions, not general knowledge. Step 4. Use the remaining 10% for peer-to-peer lending. Start conservatively with A and B grade loans. Once you understand the system and see the first payments, you can be more aggressive with higher yield loans. The secret that separates millionaires from dreamers is consistency. Buffett didn't get rich overnight. He followed the same strategy for decades. Success isn't about finding the perfect investment. It's about sticking to the plan through ups and downs. Compounding takes time. In the first months, you'll see little. In a year, you'll see real results. And after 3 years, you'll understand its true power. With just $1,000 to start and $200 monthly, this strategy can grow into thousands of dollars in passive income. This knowledge is priceless, but only if you act on it. Like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more strategies. Your financial freedom begins with one decision: act today.